All right, so, hi class. Today we are going to start a Midsummer Night's Dream. Now I know we've covered Shakespeare before, but this is a little bit new. We've never covered a romantic comedy, so I'm very excited to start this with you all. So today, what I'd first like you to do is I have a little trailer of a production of Midsummer Night's Dream, and I want you to watch it with an open mind. All right?
Sounds good.
Excellent, thank you.
Met by moonlight, Frau Italia.
Look, that is so wrong.
Come hither. Fetch me the flower. Our sleeping ivy flame will make all man or madly dote upon the next live creature that it sees. I know a bank where the wild time grows, and with the juice of this, I'll streak her eyes and make her full of hateful fantasies.
I pray thee, gentle mortal, I love thee. What visions have I seen? Methought I was enamored of an ass.
There lies your
Lord, what fools these mortals be?
So, based off of that trailer, I would like you to write 3 things you think this play is about based off of the trailer. I'll give you like 2 to 3 minutes. Just write some thoughts. It's okay if they're sort of loose. If you're ready to go, just give me a thumbs up. Good. Excellent. So, can I hear some of your thoughts?
It's about drugs.
It's about drugs. All right, what makes you say it's about drugs?
It's psychedelic.
Psychedelic.
Like hippie, trippy, dippy.
Interesting, interesting. And you got that from the images that we saw? Absolutely. Very good. Willow, go ahead.
I thought it looked like it might be a carnival, like about the people in a carnival.
Oh, that's interesting. And do you remember the specific images that made you think like that? Or?
I guess it was just like the makeup and stuff.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So it's unique, it's a little odd, perhaps, and it's sort of wild, uninhibited. Any other thoughts?
It's
For
about
Shauna?
sex.
I think it's going to be about the importance of dreams and the intersections that your dreams can have with your real life. Because there's a scene where the lady wakes up and she's imagining something in her dream, but it's also in her real life.
Oh, absolutely. Good catch. Yeah, so there's that intersection between dreams and reality, and maybe perhaps a little bit in physical love or anything along those lines. Absolutely. So we're seeing a lot of different things. Either way, looks a little interesting, perhaps. Yeah, it looks a little unique, perhaps different from some of the other things we've covered before. And that's our ultimate goal. So I hope that's helped you get into what we're going to be reading. So hooray, it's a rom-com, a romantic comedy. And I'm very excited to cover this with you all because traditionally, people who cover Shakespeare, as we have, talk about tragedies. So it's an absolute plus. So we're talking William Shakespeare. You guys remember him? Kind of unique guy who wrote a lot of plays. We're talking about this was written in the 1590s in England. So way far back, more than a little. But this is a unique combination of mythology, English culture, and the theater. So we're seeing a strange little mishmash more than anything else. Has anyone ever heard of this play before by chance, or read it perhaps? Oh good, some veterans. No, not so much. That's okay. We are all learning. I'm sure we will all figure out something new from the work. Every time I reread it, I always find something I've never seen before, so no worries. And the entire play occurs over a very short amount of time, so this is explosive in its action and passion, and as you notice from the trailer, tons of random things that you don't expect. This play has a lot of surprises, more than anything else. So I'll be curious to hear your thoughts as we go along. So there are 3 plots in this particular play. We have the actors. They're putting on a play for the upcoming wedding that will occur within the work. Very exciting.
Wait, miss, is it a play within a play?
It is indeed. Good note. So they're putting on a play within a play, which is kind of strange more than anything else. We don't always see that. That creates a very unique environment. It also makes it very comedic because suddenly we have a huge insight to what a play is actually like from an insider's perspective because we're watching them piece together a play very gradually. So good catch, well done. And we have the Athenian lovers. So you may remember from the trailer that there was a lot of strange passion and people running around hugging other people, things along those lines. So there are people trying to find love despite the fact that there are rules in society and people trying to push them one way or another.
Is that why the girl kissed the donkey?
Well, that's in a different category, but absolutely that does talk about love. That is one of our focuses within this particular work. So yeah, that does relate to a degree. Those are not the Athenian lovers. Those are actually, ties into our next point really well, the fairies. They're trying to resolve a fight between the king and queen of fairies. So there are 3 plots going on at the exact same time. So a lot of our job is going to be trying to sort out the plots as we experience this particular work. Roshana?
Is there a different narrator for the 3 different stories?
Well, not completely. More than anything else, the action is occurring within different scenes, but sometimes the scenes and experiences will intersect throughout the play. We don't have a particular narrator per se because it is a play, so more than anything else, we're watching the play and we're self-narrating it in our minds, trying to relate to the text. So that's where you're going to see any type of that aspect to it, but more than anything, we'll be watching how these 3 plots intersect, because they will. Ultimately, you can't have 3 plots in one play and not have that happen. So good question. A little different from our typical novel. So as we were talking about, we're seeing a lot of themes and motifs. So love, as Jen mentioned, is huge in this, and also possibly lust more than anything else. physical love, things along those lines. We have marriage, which is a big factor. We've seen that in works before, very classic theme. We also have appearance versus reality. What you see in this play is not always what you get, which is a huge factor in the confusion that occurs within the play. We have order versus disorder, so chaos versus the rigid structure of society, all right? And we have dreams, as Roshana mentioned. There are lots of strange things happening within this work, and we're trying to figure out, which also ties into our theme of appearance versus reality, of what's real and what is not. What's a dream, and are we awake at any point? As you can tell from the name of the work, A Midsummer Night's Dream, that's a pretty big factor within the work. And finally, the supernatural. We're talking about fairies, we're talking about things that don't happen in your day-to-day, so it's supposed to be mystical and magical. All right?
Is it like Inception, the movie?
Well, and it's more of an older version of an Inception type of feel to it, because there are a lot of strange things that happen that we may not always be able to explain. So, in somewhat, I'll be interested if you find some comparisons there. So we're going to be working in groups of 2 to 3. I'm okay if you choose your groups today, but I have a worksheet for you, which is talking about Shakey's lingo, or that's how I call Shakespeare. So just make sure you work in groups and be prepared to discuss your answers. Let me just pass these out real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. So you can tell on the left there are lines from the play, and on the right are modern translations of what some of these lines mean. So you try to match them up, and don't be afraid to help your partner or to use your partner as a fellow resource, and try to see if you can match up the lines in part 1. And then part 2, try it for yourself. There's a small section from the play, and see if you can translate it into modern slang. Give it to me so that anyone on the street could realize exactly what you're saying. All right? I'll be walking around just in case you all need help.
Do you want to work together?
Sure.
Okay. I think this one is with this one because it has father and the
Wait, which one is that?
because it has have, father,
Oh, yeah.
and love, and
Yeah.
Demetrius.
Miss, I have the first one.
Do you? Because it has father, loves, and Demetrius, and it's father, loves, and Demetrius.
Good. Hey, great way to use your skills to figure out what it means. Well done.
Marry him. Yeah. So he's a guy.
Now it's your turn.
Okay.
There's 2 guys talking about how Yeah? Maybe? I don't know.
Ooh, maybe that one.
Oh, yes. Heck yeah. That's it.
Because of dance.
Alright, so these 2.
Yeah.
Last
Okay.
Oh, yeah, this
Bottom?
one. Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
I know.
First one?
Yep. And
Okay.
okay, we did it.
So these 2.
All right, I'm gonna translate.
Okay. Well, let's just say now is translated to now. Now it's your turn.
Now, Hippolyta, it is time.
Wait, I don't like her name, so let's say it
Hippie. It's time. It's time.
What's nuptial?
Miss, what's nuptial?
Nuptial, it's like marriage.
Marriage!
Oh, it's time.
Now hippie marry me?
It's
Oh,
time.
the person is eager.
Now, hippie, it's time to
come
get hitched.
because on the first day of the month they're getting married. Yes. But yeah, so they're looking forward to.
Have you seen that movie called Hitch? It's really fun.
Yeah, dude, I love
I
that
love
movie.
Will Smith.
Focus in, guys.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Draws on a page?
No,
Huh?
that's like, it's time. Now, hippie, it's time to get
stages of the moon.
What?
Miss,
We're all
can
good?
you help us?
Okay. Yep, absolutely.
What does this mean? Does that mean that there's 4 stages in the moon?
No, it doesn't. It's not talking about the stages of the moon. It's talking about if you're relating it to the upcoming marriage. It's talking about how far away the marriage is.
Why another moon?
Because it is talking about how the moon comes and goes within the moon phases. So it's talking about how the moon is changing and it's how it's changing time.
Oh.
So it seems like most people are done or almost done. So let's say another 30 seconds to wrap it up.
And it can't come quick enough.
About, in 4 days our time will come.
I don't know. Yes? Yes.
Okay, let's just go.
They're such good students.
But methinks how slow this old moon wanes. What is wane? What's a wane?
Wanes. Wanes is when, is again relating to the movement of the moon. So it's talking about how it waxes and wanes and how the moon moves again through those stages.
Like a half moon to a full
It's-
moon.
So, and our time, but it's going by really slow.
Okay.
So let's come together, let's figure out your answers. So I would love to hear if anyone figured out which modern translation went with, you have her father's love, Demetrius, let me have Hermia, do you marry him? Does anyone have an answer for that one? Matching it up? Yes, this group.
The first one and the fourth one, or the fifth one.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah. Is that
So
these two?
that one to
That one.
that one? Not quite.
Oh, that one.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you were misreading your line there. So, her father loves you, Demetrius, so why don't you marry him and let me have Hermia? As we get more entrenched in the plot, some of these lines will make more sense, but I want to make sure that you have the Shakespearean language. All right, the second one. If you will patiently dance in our round and see our moonlight revels, go with us.
If you behave yourself and join us in our circle dance and moonlight celebrations, that's weird, then you can come with us.
Absolutely, 100% correct. How about that third one? How now, mad spirit? What night rule now about this haunted grove?
What's going on, you crazy spirit? It's the last one. What havoc have you wreaked on this part of the forest?
Excellent, absolutely. The fourth one. Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or rather, do I not, in plainest truth, tell you I do not, nor I cannot love you?
Do I ask you to follow me? Do I speak to you kindly? Don't I tell you in the clearest terms that I do not and cannot love you?
Good, absolutely. And that leaves our last one. Why do they run away? This is knavery of them to make me afeard. Leaves which one?
The second one.
Absolutely. Why are they running away? This is some joke of theirs to scare me. Now, part 2, I will be interested to hear your translation. It does not have to be obviously word for word, but I would love to hear a little bit of what you found to be a good translation for you.
Wait, I have a question about one of the translations first.
Of course.
Okay?
Yes.
So the fourth translation, her father loves you, Demetrius. So why don't you marry him and let me have Hermia? I'm confused about people. So her father loves you. Demetrius is a man's name, right?
Yes, absolutely. So he's stating that your father, Hermia's father, absolutely adores Demetrius because he endorses that he wants Demetrius to marry Hermia.
Why is it so why don't you marry him and not so why don't you marry her?
So it's why don't you marry him, because it's jokingly, and that's not really something that they literally mean.
Oh, I get it.
As why don't you marry him, but it's saying, well, he has your affection, so why don't you just marry him? So he's joking. He knows he's not literally going to marry him because Demetrius cares for Hermia, But he's saying, well, her father likes you, so you might as well just marry each other. Hey, why not? So it's supposed to be sarcastic.
Is the dad getting married?
No. Nope.
It's a joke. Just joking.
Yeah, it's a joke. We'll come back to it as we read the play, all right? It'll make a little more sense. But we're running out of class time, so I suppose I will look over your translations over the next day or so before I see you again. But I want to say congratulations, you're ready to read. So our first setting will be in Athens at the Palace of Theseus. You might know the name Theseus from mythology, but I'm excited to start the work with you, and I hope you're excited as well. Class dismissed.